We are live. Xander, look. We're live.
Say hi, everybody.
Probably open another channel so that we can see what's going on.
I prefer when I'm phone.
Oh, Fortins are on, Mom.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, Maxine says she miss you, Tony.
Hi.
You're trying to do what? Post?
I'm actually trying to open up the live so that we can see.
Oh.
We have good detail here.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much. Holy Easter. Xander is saying hi, too. Hi, Xander.
Happy Easter. Tell everybody hi. Hi. He's seen the words scrolling.
Oh. It's getting his attention. Say hi, Xander. Say hi to everybody. Thank you for coming on. Holy Easter. So in Jamaica, we are on curfew. Lots of homework. Housework.
Housework. Government wants you to spend time with your family, Mom.
You know, doing housework. PZ72 says, take it easy.
Xander is looking intensely. Yes, he is. Tony, please take it easy. Full healing takes quite a while. It does. It does.
All right, so everybody, we actually have a special guest today. Right? His name is KEMAR Ford, and he's coming from Caribbean Assurance Brokers, insurance company. And he's a financial advisor. So he's going to be telling you all about some insurance that we have in Jamaica that you in the diaspora can actually participate in. And I know insurance can be very expensive in some parts of the world. But for us in Jamaica, it's reasonable. It's within reason. So I thought I would just bring him on today so that he could tell you what kind of insurance things we have in Jamaica. You can benefit from it. He's going to be coming on maybe at about 3:30, Tony, 3:45, somewhere there.
Yeah.
All right, so you can stand by for that. But in the meantime, we take your question.
Hi, Debbie. Hey, Debbie. Who else is there? Blessing Xander. It spells with an X.
Spelled with an X. Xander. You see your name? What are you looking at? What are you looking at, Xander? You're talking to me. You saying something? What are you saying? You want to know what that is? Ask the question. Ask Grandma the question.
Can you see yourself?
I'm sure you can.
Any questions as yet? No?
You can ask us the questions, everybody. I think last week we looked at how you can calculate your mortgage, all of that.
Oh, there's Garth. Hi, Miss Tony. We, the Toronto crew, is happy back. Please take it easy. God bless. Yes, thank you. I will take it easy. This is actually the only work I've really done.
Yeah, you have been taking it easy. I wish I could have just take it easy. Take it easy. Take it easy. Hi, Paul. Thank you for joining us. So everybody, you can ask us your your real estate questions. I can answer some money questions too. Money, real estate, wealth, things you want to know. Come on. So, okay.
No questions. Oh, here's a question. Good afternoon, ladies. If I'm buying in a development, what's this? FDO? Oh, do I need a lawyer?
The developments usually have, this is Sophia. Developments usually have standard contracts, Sophia. So personally, when I'm buying a development, I read the contract and sign it and move on. Everybody's signing the same contract. Something about apartment pyramid, could get the best interest rate.
Linval wants to know, hi Claudia, happy Easter Sunday. I am interested in purchasing an apartment in Pyramid Point, but I want to know where I could get the best interest rates. Mortgage?
Mortgage you're talking about? No, I don't know about the best interest rates. It's really who's going to give you the loan. We have a link. We can give you a link to a Jamaica National mortgage officer, and you can check that out, Linval. You have my phone, Tony?
Yeah. No, I don't.
All right. Tony's going to post a link for the Jamaica National rep. I know up to maybe a month ago, I don't know if they've changed the interest rate. It was 7.5 was the interest rate. You can probably so you complete this form and you can complete the form, talk to the rep, and just let them know. The real lot about the interest rates is who will give you the loan, right? Some of them, the debt service ratios are more stringent, so you don't qualify for the amount that you want.
Sophia wants to know, hi ladies, can you recommend me to a paralegal so I can get my name on a house title? Paralegal? Do you know any paralegals?
No, I can recommend it to a lawyer though. It's not expensive. Well, I shouldn't say it's not expensive. Expensive is relative to your pocket, really. Put her to Richards and Richards, don't it? So just email this company and they'll tell you. They told me already, you know, but so it's like adding your name to a title, an existing title, correct? Get my name on a house title, yeah. So somebody already have a title and you want to add it. They charge a flat fee. So a lot of the law, a lot of the lawyers will charge you.
He's getting to that age.
A lot of the lawyers will charge you. I need my paper, Tony. A lot of the lawyers will charge you a percentage of the value of the property, but these lawyers charge you a flat fee.
One moment.
You posted it already?
Not the attorney though.
All right, so Tony's going to post the attorney. You can look out for that. So we just posted the mortgage officer, so you can just complete that form, and the mortgage officer will, don't touch his hands, please. The mortgage officer will reach out to you. All right.
I need the most though. Okay, next question. Nikisha Lewis.
What's the question?
If I'm overseas and not throwing a NHD contribution, what is the best option other than that?
Best option is to get pre-approved by a mortgage officer. So, is that Nikisha?
Yes, Nikisha Lewis.
Right. Get pre-qualified with a mortgage officer. That way you will know how much you qualify for. So use the link that we just posted. That was for rep at Jamaica National. And get the discussion going. You need to know how much you pre-approved for first.
Nigel Carr, good afternoon. What are the starting prices for a home in Stony Hill?
Wow. So Stony Hill have a lot of different houses, types, size, style. Wow.
Not only that, Stony Hill has a lot of different zones.
Different zones, yeah. So,
assuming he wants something really nice, then what's his starting price? About 40 million?
We can't check the RAG. But no, but it does in a zone that's, you can't pick out Stony Hill like that.
No. It just has Kingston.
Stony Hill is not a category that we can pick out.
We can pick out Kingston 9 though, I think, which covers
Stony Hill.
Which covers Stony Hill.
Okay.
You want to try that?
You can try that. Let me take the next question while you look for it. For the open market properties on sale, how are the purchasers selected? Is the purchaser with the highest cash payment down? No, usually it's the purchaser who will make the highest bid. Or some owners like to choose the person with the cash offer because they don't want to wait on the bank and all of that. But if there's no cash offer in sight, usually they'll go with the highest offer. Not the highest deposit, but the highest offer. What's our question? If you paid out on a Belica, how can you change the lot number? Oh, Marcia, you can just WhatsApp us and ask us. The map is on the system, but are we updated with the map? No, I don't think the map is fully updated, but and there are some price changes on the Belica too, as well. So it just depends on where you were in the development. And if anybody else has dropped out from that section, you could probably go into it. But because there are some price changes now, so the 2-bed 1-baths are now 14.5 million. And some of the 1-bed 1-baths are now 11.5 million. So I would say just send me a WhatsApp or call Tonian in the morning, 370-8138. Or send her a WhatsApp at that number now, so that she can see it and look at it. Tony, remember the name? Marcia Brown. We have to look at the list. Oh, Zans. Have to look at the list. Xander.
Okay, so yeah, that's what I figured. They're starting. This one is at.
So that's Golden Spring.
Hold on, I need to share the screen.
17 million. It's Golden Spring Stony Hill. That's past Stony Hill, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk? Say something. I'll give you no. All right, so Tony's sharing the screen now.
This has been on the market for a while, though.
1,000, that's 3 years.
They also want cash only.
Oh, all right. So the next one is 37 million. Now that's a 10-bed. What's the average? Give me an average house. That just came on, 24 days on the market, 38 million.
This one?
Yeah. What are you saying?
It's the same property.
Just came on the market. On the main. How big is it? Or are you just looking at the pictures? All right. All right. So what you need to tell us is your budget, though.
Is it across the street? Oh, it's beside it. Okay, so this is beside it. It's a shop.
Tony, you could have just read what it is.
Okay, let's do that.
It's on the main. All right, so that's what it is. You can read it aloud for those who can't see it.
I can't see it either.
So both of us blind.
Let me get it a little bigger.
Zanzibar.
Okay, this has the potential to be a multi-purpose revenue generating opportunity. This split level residence has the investment possibilities and is strategically located on the main. This space operates a lotto shop and wholesale, storage and bath separate from the main house. With over an acre of unplowed land naturally fruited, excellent for housing development or farming, and has a multi-family unit with 6 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, including 3 separate rental apartments downstairs, 2 bedroom, 1 bath, and 2 1 bedroom, 1 bath apartments. Upgrade is required. The main house upstairs has very spacious living, dining, and kitchen with 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, 1 ensuite with a jacuzzi. A quite cool developing rural community in the hills of Almond Hill. If you are willing to explore new opportunities, then this is an excellent choice. If you are serious about trying something new, Paul, because the possibilities with this property are endless.
Interesting.
There's a lot to offer.
There's a lot to offer. Excuse me, Xander. So it's 50 million, 3/4 house lot. Wow, this is just a land. I see, right?
It has a 1 bedroom cottage
on it.
So basically it's just a land.
Mm-hmm. It's 3/4 acres. It has a 1 bedroom cottage and it's 50 million. Interesting. All right. What's the other question? So basically, you're looking at this is Hermitage. So the Stony Hill properties will be more expensive because these are the outskirts of Stony Hill itself. Hermitage is on the outskirts. Penny Hills, this is one property in Stony Hill, but this is 1.52 acres. That's 3 buildings. This one looks like it's in Stony Hill itself.
2 right terrace.
Mm-hmm. And that's 65 million. So basically, those are the prices in Stony Hill. Starting prices in Stony Hill.
Okay. Okay. And another question. Jizzy J says, hi ladies, what stage does the lawyer get paid within the buying process?
Some lawyers will take a retainer up front and then the rest of it upon completion. Some will wait until the sale is closed and then you pay them. Just depends on the lawyer. So some will take a deposit.
Michelle says, welcome back, Tony. Enjoyed Rachel, but missed you. Thank you. Okay, Tashala Bailey says, good afternoon. If you have applied for a mortgage from a bank and they went ahead and withdrew processing fee for the loan without confirming with you, would that mean the application was successful?
Yes, but how would they take processing fee without the processing fee for the loan? They must have given you a commitment letter. Usually it does mean that. They would not have taken it if they weren't going to give you the loan.
Processing fee, would that mean you have found the property and everything already?
Yeah, you apply for a loan.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Bless you.
Bless you, Zans. No, you cannot have the mouse under. You cannot have the mouse. You cannot have anything there.
And Claudia says, hello, ladies. Happy Easter. Welcome back, Tony. Thank you. Jamaican Canadian says, hi, guys. What are your thoughts in apartments at Perkins? It's the studio apartment for 16 million. Question 2. Would it be better to rent furnished or unfurnished?
Where's Perkins?
The ones that just built.
What studio apartment that Perkins? Perkins? I don't know about them.
Joshua Construction built them.
They're up for sale?
16. That's what they
At
said.
16 million? Are you sure about that?
I'm not sure what the price is on them.
Okay. They're 500 square feet.
They're 500 square feet?
I think so.
So,
Perkins. You have to compare it to what's on the market. So we actually have a 1-bedroom at Maryvale, don't we? You have to compare what our price. I'm not sure.
what are the prices for studios now?
What zone is that again? That's Kingston one.
19?
Let's just search for apartments anywhere.
No, pick off house.
In St. Andrew. You have for sale? Oh, Zanzibar. 8.
No, I think it's, you still have, you click Kingston 19? No, it's still saying 9 for Stony Hill.
Oh. So remove
Move the city.
remove the zone.
No, the second one. Yeah, to all.
Yeah. Okay, so the 1-bedroom should come up first.
Manninville, 10.
So you can get the
Barbican.
screen still sharing, Joy?
No, let me reshare.
No, Xander. There you go. Yeah, going to get makeup all over your face, all over your cheeks. You're gonna have a little red cheek going on here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Your turn.
Okay, here it is.
Ready? Yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You found it? So we have 15 million in where?
Barbican Road.
Did you limit the price?
No, I haven't.
All right, so 50 million Barbican, 50 million Constant Spring. Those seem to be 1-bedrooms. Scroll down. West King's House.
Is that a studio?
Waterloo. That's a budget. I would suggest that you look at all the options that you have.
I think the Perkins one is new to compare to these.
Yeah, compared to what you have, right? Compare. So look at the options.
Would it be better to rent furnished or unfurnished?
Do we have Maryvale up here?
No.
All right. So we also have a 1-bedroom apartment selling at Maryvale.
It's for 17, right?
17. You can ask us about that too and put in an offer if you wish.
I can probably put the link of Maryvale here.
What's going on? Your mommy will soon be here. What's going on? Answering the question? You're gonna answer the questions? You're gonna answer the questions? All right, so we'll put in the Maryvale video. We're gonna paste the link You can have a look at it. That's a 1-bedroom at Maryvale, which is off Mannings Hill Road. Turn left at White Bones, continue straight down to the end, and make the right turn.
You want a piece of land?
Are you supposed to be posting it, or are you supposed to be playing the video? Which one?
Tried to copy it
No,
and
no,
it came
no.
up.
Zana. Oh, you can't touch. You cannot touch my earrings right now.
All right.
You look a bambino.
Oh, they were saying it has no amenities.
What do have any amenities?
Guess the Perkins.
The Perkins have any amenities? Oh, what the?
We're just gonna have to come and rescue me, you know.
Xander, is it a cheek red full of makeup? Alright, so he wants to play now. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? 1, 2, buckle down shoes. 3, 4, shut the door. 5, 6, pick up sticks. 7, 8, lay them straight. 9, 10.
Okay, looks like we're back now.
Back?
Yes. See, someone was saying it. So around 40 million for Stony Hill. Thank you, ladies, so much. I am a long-time follower, by the way. Have a blessed Easter. Thank you, Nigel. Hi, Javan says, just reach. Welcome back, Tony, and thank you. Oh, Marcy says, we're right beside you, Tony.
Marcia.
Oh, that's Belico.
Marcia, what's your lot number? Richard. Rescue us.
Maybe she's not number 6, because...
Then go to mom. Tear up on the clothes. Bye, Xander.
So much energy today.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Bye. All right.
Work is cheap.
Lucas says, hi, Tony and Claudia. Happy Easter. Happy Easter, Lucas.
Richard,
Wayne
can we
Smith
have the
wants
fan
to
this
know,
way, please?
do you have any fixer-upper in New Green Mandeville?
No, I don't. I'm not sure. I'll have to check. Thank you. I'll have to check. New Green Mandeville. Let me just make a note. Send me a WhatsApp and ask me, please.
Yakana wants to know, a 17.5 million house at an NHT scheme mortgage, 75,000 a month for 39 years. Could you explain why the mortgage so high, 3% interest, it would work out to be paying twice the amount? Why?
The interest. The interest is what you're paying. So 17.5. The interest is why you're paying that. So NHT is giving you a $17.5 million mortgage.
75K per month for 39 years.
At 3%. The interest is why you're paying that. So if you go on the loan amortization calculator, go to the loan amortization calculator. All right, so we have a special guest coming on. KEMAR is going to be coming on. I'm going to be bringing him shortly. He's from Caribbean Assurance Brokers, and he's a financial advisor. He's going to be talking to us about insurance, different types of insurance policies that you can buy, both for international and local use. I know a lot of you travel to Jamaica a lot, so you might want to still have some insurance here. So we thought we would bring on KEMAR, who will walk us through the process. But first, let us look back at the loan amortization calculator. Those of you who have been following, you should be familiar with this calculator by now. Are you sharing?
Not yet. Is this the one though?
No, I think this one have a maximum. You know, hold on. How many years she said?
39 years.
Understand? Oh yeah. You sharing?
Not yet. There you go.
How much is the mortgage amount?
17.5 million.
Cannot enter it. So you're the mortgage amount, and she's giving you that much mortgage? I'm surprised.
If it's their scheme, right?
If it's their scheme, oh, so you're probably buying the one on Ruben Road, are you?
Oh, this is a max.
Max is 10 million. No, you need a mortgage calculator that can carry more. They're not used to these only for big numbers. You're getting 39 years. That means you're about 31 years old. For the loan this is another loan amortization calculator. Interest rate, did you tell us? 3%. For 39 years. I think this one can't change.
This one, but
This one can't change. Go back.
okay.
You got a different one. All right, so we're trying to find a mortgage calculator. Everybody, you need to be familiarize yourself with loan amortization calculator. Use it to calculate mortgages. So the question was, what was the question? Why you're paying twice for the loan?
Let's try this one.
$75,000. I think NHT adds 5% for. So what's 5% of 17,500 million? Because they also add that to the loan for the processing fees. You're not aware of it because it's calculated. It's you don't pay the money up front. Where's my calculator? There's 17,500 times 5%. It's 75,000 plus 17,500. 18,375. That's what this should be. Check this out to 18,375. 18,375. All right, so get us closer to the figure. All right, so that's working out to 66,000 for your mortgage, and you're probably adding insurance to that. Why it's coming out at 75,000. So they would have added peril insurance and life insurance to that, because NHT insure their loans. Now, what you're paying for is the interest. Huh? Now, I wish this one had summarized it, but it didn't. Can I see the summary? All right, so it tells you. So your total interest you would have paid is 12 million. So in addition to paying 18,000 back to the trust for the property itself, you're paying an interest of 12,819,000. Wow. So that's why you're paying 66,000, because each time you pay the 66,000, you start at 18,375, but in the first month that you paid, 547 goes to the first year, sorry, this is yearly. Yeah. The first year, you would have paid 547 in interest, and you'd have paid 252,000 on the principal. balance 18, 122. Then second year, same thing, you pay 540. So each year when you pay the mortgage, it's broken down, as you can see, till you pay a total of 12 million for the mortgage, for the interest. That's how it's done. So it's the interest that is carrying you. Now they only gave you 39 years. If they had given you 40 years, you probably don't qualify for the 40 years, which is a maximum time. So you notice your payment was 66,000, your payment would have been 65,000, your total interest would have been 13,100. So really and truly, you should be happy they gave you 39 years because your interest is different, right? So what you can do, if you can afford it, you can ask them to move it to a 30-year. If you move it to a 30-year, you're going to pay more per month, 77,000, which is only 10,000 more. But if you notice, your interest now is only 9 million.
Oh.
As opposed to, what was it before, 12 million?
Yeah.
So you would have knocked off 3 million off your mortgage. Or if you really want to just blow it out of the sky, ask them for a 15-year mortgage. If your earnings can carry it, and you pay 126,000 per month, the total interest will only be 465,000 for the entire 15 years of the mortgage.
Also, the longer the mortgage term is, the more interest you pay.
Right. So that's the moral of the story, guys. The longer the mortgage term. So when you go to a mortgage company and give you a 30-year mortgage or a 40-year mortgage, you want to pay it like you're paying a 15-year or even a 10-year.
So is it that you have to pay a specific amount each year towards the principal?
You can do that, or you can just ask them, like what we do. So what we did, so we started out with our NHT, we started out with a 30-year mortgage, right? Tony, how much did you borrow again? 1.5?
I think so.
So Tony borrowed 1.5, I borrowed only 1 million. So she borrowed 1.5 and she got is that 1.5? Or she got a 30-year mortgage. I think it was the same 3%, wasn't it? At the time.
I'm not even sure.
And then we wrote to them after about 2 years and said, hey, reduce this to a 15-year mortgage. That's what we did. Reduce it to a 15-year, is it 15-year or 10?
I think it's 10 years.
I think it's 10 years. We reduced it to a 10-year mortgage. And hey, recalculate this, work it out as a 10-year mortgage, which I did. So her payments was 14,000 something, and with insurance and all of that, it brought it up to about 20, right?
Yeah.
So now she has finished paying the mortgage quickly, 10 years, only paid 238,000 in interest. But she got 1.5 million. So we are about to do that now with Rachel. So Rachel borrowed 4.8 million. So what happened? I borrowed 4.8 million. Rachel borrowed it, built her a house. She's young, so she got a 40-year mortgage. The same 3%, I do believe. So Rachel's mortgage is more than this. She's paying 26,000. Interest rate probably higher. So something maybe 4.
But you have to add her in insurance.
Insurance and all of that, yeah. Probably at 4%. So we're about to write to them and say, hey, I want this moved to a 10-year mortgage. Let me see what that's gonna be since I'm right here right now. So we'll be paying 48,000. So it doubles, right?
Yeah, which is not bad though.
No, it's not. So everybody, you get a 30-year mortgage, you want to break that down to a 10, 15, or even 20 years less than, so that your interest, you're not paying all this interest. All right. Now another question I need to bring in, KEMAR.
Tashala said that she didn't receive her commitment letter from the bank.
You didn't? Wow.
She needs to really talk to the rep.
Yeah, talk to the rep.
Took out the fees for.
Right. All right, so we're gonna bring in KEMAR now. Is KEMAR ready?
Yes, he's ready.
You have any more questions?
Let's see.
That you can take quickly. We're going to bring in KEMAR. He's going to be talking to us about insurance, and you can actually ask him your questions.
Someone's
Current
asking
mortgage
for
rate
it.
7.5 to about 8.5. They're about 5 so yes, it's 16 million. They're about 554 square feet for the Perkins Boulevard apartment. Okay. Brown, they're at 16 million. It's right across from where we are living. Okay, great. I know the apartment. I know which ones now. The ones right on the gully side. The side of the gully. Where the gully runs on that side, right? The gully runs on the left side. Correct me if I'm wrong, everybody. So it is coming at the foot of Red Hills. You turn left like you're going to
Duhaney Park.
You reach somewhere. We reach Patrick City before you reach Duhaney Park. So you're going in that direction, and then you have the gully on the left. So the apartments are on that side on the left. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
What are the price range for land and a 3-bedroom house in Amazon? That I'm not so sure. Take one, but not built by NHT. Budget 14 mil. Only thing we have for that now is Belico. And it's there now at 14.5 Mullings. Them gone to 14.5. We have 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom, 14.5. You can send us a WhatsApp or just go on the Belico website and look at them now, right? All right. So I think we have taken all the questions.
Some.
Everybody's welcome back. Thank you so much. So I think we're...
Someone is asking, sorry, what do you do for the search? Is it Merivale a good area? Merivale is a really good area.
Yeah, Merivale is a good area.
The complex has a swimming pool, actually.
Mm-hmm. And we did did you post the link?
I did. And it
Tony
does have
posted the link for the video.
Entrance.
And it's gated. So you can talk to us about that. Lot 8. Marcia, talk to us after. Lot 8 is a corner, there's a price change. And start again. It's available. Belly acres, only Belly acres. Belly acres priced me out. I was thinking of a 1-bed.
How did you get priced out?
Yeah, why wait so long? They were 10.5, now at 11.5. Call us still. We have some in 10.5 range. Maybe we can still get you on one of those. Just send us an email or a WhatsApp. Send us a WhatsApp preferably. Then you send it to 370-8138. The WhatsApp. If you're buying land and the owner has a survey diagram that was submitted to the parish council, could this be submitted to the bank when they ask for the survey? You have to have a title to submit to the bank.
No, I think maybe they're purchasing and the owner did a survey before and they want to know if they can use it during their purchase. They
as
can
long as it's under 1 year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. As long as it's under 1 year. And as long as it's the original, not a copy. I have a 1-bedroom to do complete renovation. How much do you think it will cost to do as I live abroad? They seem to double price. Soul Tracks, you have to send me a WhatsApp. Send me up some pictures of the property and tell me where it is. Is it an apartment? What is it? You have to send me those. Send it to 370-8138. My 292-6776 is full. Over 1,000 messages don't answer yet. Still trying to plow through them. How you find a fixer-upper? How do you find a fixer-upper?
There should be an option for that still, like when you're doing the searches, they should say fixer-upper. Yeah, that would make our lives so much easier.
Happy Easter. We're going to take the last question now and then we'll bring on KEMAR. What's he saying? Happy Easter what?
Happy Easter and welcome back, Tony. Thank you. Question, if I buy an NHT house and whatever reason decide to sell it in 3 or 4 years, how would I go about it?
You just sell the house. NHT doesn't stop you from selling the house. So you can call a realtor like myself, put it on the market, get it sold. They don't stop you from selling your house.
Just that NHT would have your title. So
yeah, NHT would have your title.
You have to write for it.
And then no, the lawyers would write for it. So the lawyers would interface with NHT, get the title, and do what they're supposed to do. Basically, all you have to do is find a realtor and say, hey, I want my house sold, and we'll get it on the market for you. So we'll find a buyer. All right, that's it. We can bring in KEMAR. You have one more. Is this the last question right here?
We can bring in KEMAR.
Submit application for the homestead, but did not hear back. Man, we had a meeting today about the homestead. Those of you still interested in getting onto the homestead, well, you haven't. You're going to what you want them to do, Tony. You have a link you want to put in here now?
I had an original link.
Mm-hmm.
What should we do?
And what happened to the original link?
I do. I have the original homestead link that they can fill out, and I guess from there I could add them.
Yeah, so put it in here.
Or let me see.
If what you do is you just want to put in a link now. Use a link. If you still haven't heard back from us, send a message to 370-8138. 370-8138. Melissa, we miss your question. Put it back quickly. We'll go to KEMAR now, who has been standing patiently for us. You're submitting an application for the, this is a homestead. What's wrong, Xander?
You see the link?
Wants to sleep.
Look at this one.
All right, so I'm going to bring, KEMAR is going to be talking to you about insurance. He's from Caribbean Assurance Brokers, and he's a financial advisor. So just as Tony posts this. So here's a link. Complete it. It will come to us right now. Cost of the land survey depends on the size of the land, and that can be anywhere from 25 million to infinity. Just depends on the size of the land. A regular quarter acre shouldn't cost you more than about 40,000. So anywhere from 25 to 40,000. That's what I've been paying for. If you need a surveyor, if you need a surveyor, you can WhatsApp me and ask me. I'll give you the surveyor's contact.
All
right, ready? So, KEMAR, we're going to try and make a connection with KEMAR now. This handsome young man is going to be talking to us.
It's my pleasure.
Hi, KEMAR. How are you on this Sunday?
I'm actually good. I'm just here, just listening to you guys, listening to the information that is being distributed and how persons can utilize it. Okay. I'm always for that. If sharing information, obtaining information is always a plus when it comes to money.
All right, good. So you have some good information to share with us today.
Yes, I do. All right. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't good.
All right, so I'm going to make your slides live now.
Okay, so let me just open that. All right. Am I ready?
Yes, go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. So my name is KEMAR Ford. I am a financial advisor from Caribbean Assurance Brokers, as Tony and Claudia has just introduced me. So I'm really here to give you guys some information, some in-depth information as it pertains to insurance and how you can utilize it. In essence, what is financial planning and how we can go ahead and implement it in our lives. So if you're like most of us, you're interested in money and accumulating most of it, or more of it, I should say, right? And that is one of the key things for financial planning. So it's a case that we can look at it and we can summarize our need for financial planning as one thing. We either control our circumstances or we let our circumstances control us. So there are a lot of persons that don't control their own circumstances or their financial circumstances. They prefer to hope and drift, spending most of the time planning fetes and events rather than looking to securing their future, right? So that is the reason why I have the heading, financial planning, controlling your future. So what is financial planning, you may ask? Financial planning is a step-by-step approach to meet one's life goals. It helps you to be in control of your income, expenses, and investments. So it takes away from you just getting up and saying, okay, there's a sale going on down the road. Maybe I can go and get this new bag or this new shoes or anything along those lines. It keeps you in track so your finances are not overly expanded. So it is, as the table, well, as this diagram would allude, it's applying different financial techniques to the financial resources at hand to achieve and secure your life goals. So the different sources of income that we have, those are what we look at and say, these are financial resources. And the techniques and how we utilize those resources, we can call those our financial techniques. So when we combine both, that's how we have our whole financial planning portfolio. All right. Another question that is normally asked is, why is financial planning important? Right? So we'll look at this picture. We see this lovely family. We see this lovely home, a luxury car, right? And we look at it and we say, okay, how does this affect us? Well, what financial planning does is it helps you to determine your short-term and long-term financial goals. So a lot of these short-term and long-term goals, depending on where we are or at what stage in our lives we are, includes us getting a home, starting a family, right? Getting a car. So looking at that, we will say, okay, us starting a family, all right? How is it that my finances can carry me through this? Do I have enough finances to say, okay, I can afford this apartment, I can afford this home, right? How does it affect me doing other things 10 years down the line? You can look at it again and say, okay, I would like to start a business. And again, we go back and we look at the finances, right? So even after acquiring these finances, how do we transfer them to our beneficiaries, right? Because a lot of persons will go out and they will buy these homes and they will acquire all this wealth, but then there's nothing in place to secure it. So it's really looking at it and seeing how it is that we can achieve the goals that we set, in one, in a timely manner, two, in a way that doesn't affect us in the long run, and three, a way in which we can both maintain and pass on what we've achieved and what we've accomplished. How money works. This is something that not a lot of persons truly understand, right? We get paid and we go out and say, okay, we'll just get some money. Best thing for do, make we go splurge, make we go have some fun, make we enjoy ourselves. That is the natural order of thinking for most persons, right? And then after doing all these things, then they'll say, okay, let me put aside some money in my bank account to some savings and so on and so forth. Let me go online first, let me go and buy this shoe, or let me go and get some shopping. Things are on sale. So because you're on sale and you're paying half off or 70% off, you believe that, okay, I'm doing something great, I'm investing, I'm saving some money. That is not always the case, right? So the first thing that we do once we get a paycheck, pay yourself, right? Always pay yourself first. Set aside 5 to 10% of your salary into an investment and some venture in which it can grow, right? An ideal amount would be 15%. Right? I normally tell persons go big from now, because as we start matriculating from where we were earlier, it goes towards our investments and our pension. Because the same standard of life that you want to be living now, that's the same standard of life you want to be living when you're 65, 70. You don't want it to be a case that we're living big when we're younger, and as we get older, we're there now struggling or trying to depend on family members or depend on kids. So pay yourself first, right? And you can go even a bit further. There are certain things that we do that we don't need to. Say we have a car and we go to the car wash every day. We don't need to be paying to wash our cars every week. We can actually wash our cars ourselves, because there's times when we'll have that extra time where we can do it. So when we wash our car, we normally just wash it and leave it there and walk away. But if you had brought it to a car wash, you'd have paid to wash it. So why not pay yourself for washing a car? And those are the little points that we look at when we say pay yourself first. The next point is, don't save what is left after spending. Spend what is left after saving. So that is one of the key attributes to letting money work for you. Because there are normally two types of people in the world. People who understand how money works and let money work for them, and people who don't understand how money works and works for money. Right? Buy only what you need. So alluding to the example that I gave earlier, you don't need to go and buy these new clothes, these new shoes. a new car if you really don't need it. It's just added expense. Right? Spending is a habit, and that is something that everyone agrees on. But not a lot of persons look at it and understand that. So is saving. Saving is a habit, and it's a habit that is formed as all habits. So it's a case that, okay, you get to a point and say, okay, I'm unable to save. I tried it, didn't work. It's a habit. So it takes time. So we start out small. We may say, okay, let's do $100 a day. Let's do $1,000 a day. Let's do $5,000 a day. Whatever is affordable to you. Start somewhere, right? The moment you start, and the moment that we keep doing it, it becomes a habit. And once it becomes a habit, it stays. The sooner you start saving, the better for your future, right? A lot of us will say, okay, let's start saving next week. I'll start saving next year. Or when I get this new promotion, I'll start saving. Or if I get this new cash advance, I'll start saving. It's better to do it now, right? Because the earlier you start, the more you would have accumulated. Especially if it's a case that you're in some investment, you have some investment in which you have an interest rate, right? The earlier you start, the more you gain. So with that being said, the future is now. So we can't say, okay, the future, we're thinking about tomorrow, we're thinking about 10 months from now, 10 years from now. We start now, we get the ball rolling now. So we put the little things in place now to say, okay, in starting this now, these are defined footprints that we have in the sand to lead us to that beach house that we want, to lead us to that car dealership so we can walk in and buy that Lamborghini if that's what you're into, or you can go and just buy whatever it is that you want to do, or create whatever it is that you need to create, that nest egg that offers that security at the end of the day. Right? The law of building wealth. This is something that a lot of persons are unaware of. We look at it and we say, okay, in order for us to get rich, we're going to go out and buy the lotto, or we're going to win the lotto, or we're going to live big, we're going to live lavish. Not realizing that you can build wealth by starting small. Right? So this is the wealth curve. This is a simple way to show the relationship between taking care of your responsibilities and building your wealth. What it is two curves intersecting at one. The first one is the law of building wealth. That's the one in blue. So when we're younger, most of us, we don't have any. Then we start to save, and we start to invest, and we start to build our wealth. Right? So as we start to build our wealth curves rises. But simultaneously, when we're younger, that's when we may have our short-term or long-term goals, and we look at it and say, hey, let's start a family. Let's start this business. Let's go ahead and say, okay, let's purchase a home, because we want to have that security of having a roof over our head. Because maybe our mother or grandmother didn't have that luxury, and we're like, okay, we want to create something. We want to leave a legacy for our kids. We don't want our kids to go through some of the things that we go through, right? So as such, the law of decreasing responsibility curve comes into play. So when we're younger, we have most of our responsibilities. So we have that mortgage payment that we all need to get rid of. We have those student loans from college that we need to get rid of. We have these car loans. We have credit card debt. We have all these things that we need to get rid of. And we have children. Believe it or not, a lot of us look at kids and say, hey, they're a bundle of joy. Don't get me wrong, they are. I love children. But we need to understand that children are an expense. So when we're factoring in our budget, we need to understand that we have to budget for them as well. Right? So as you start paying off these mortgage loans, as you start paying off these car loans, right? As you start clearing these credit card bills and the kids become older, then our responsibilities become less. So as such, you realize that our responsibility curve starts to decrease. So where we look at the intersection of our wealth curve and our responsibility curve, we realize to the left that we're generally less secure, because this is where we have a lot of debt, right? So because we have a lot of debt, we need to put something in place. So if something should happen, we can alleviate all of these responsibilities, right? As we get older, our debt becomes less, and as such, we have more income to invest in different ways and to create and build our wealth, right? In saying that, that doesn't mean that because we're getting older, we don't have responsibilities. Because some of us, as we get older, that's when we start having our responsibilities. Or we may have responsibilities from when we were younger, and we place things in place to alleviate it. And then as we become older, there are new responsibilities that we take upon ourselves. And we still need to have something in case of that, in case of those responsibilities, if something should happen. Right? So this concept theorizes that in general, a person's responsibilities decreases and their wealth increases over time. And that is something that, and that's a point that we need to take and remember. So it's really about how we look at our finances and our responsibilities. And in order for our wealth to be built, we have to be responsible. The moment we stop being responsible is the moment our wealth depreciates. So we have to look at that. So this is my little house, right? This little house signifies our financial pyramid or financial portfolio and our life on a whole, right? At the base of my little house is protection. And for most persons, this is the aspect that we don't look at. We don't take this part of it very seriously. Right, so we're like, okay, what is protection, what it is that we need. So when it comes to protection, one of the key things, right, is ensuring that if in the case of any eventuality, our finances are not utterly annihilated. We have something to fall back on. So for a lot of persons, we look at it and say, okay, we don't believe in insurance because the only thing that we're doing is we're spending this money and we're not getting anything in return. How it is that this is beneficial to me, it makes no sense. I feel better if I put my money in the bank. At the end of the day, I can go to the bank and I can draw it and I can do whatever, right? When it is that we become ill, most of us just look at illness as, okay, we get a cold, we go to the doctor, or we hit our foot, or break a leg, or something like that, and then we can go and we can pay for that, right? That is one of the minute details. When we look at protection, it reaches way more than that. So for the persons that believe that, okay, we're paying for this insurance and it's not doing anything. When we look at health insurance, right, we look at something that far supersedes what it is or the scope that we think it might be. So we look at it and say, okay, we're just going to go to the pharmacy and fill this prescription. We're just going to go to the doctor and have this checkup. But have we really thought about those incidents that may become so great that the level of capital required would be detrimental to our entire foundation? So if it's the case that we look at it, a lot of persons don't look at the possibility that say, okay, we may have cancer. God forbid, we might be driving down the road or meet in a car accident and we need to be hospitalized. We need to have an organ transplant, right? We need to be sitting in this hospital bed for 5, 10, 15 months, my apologies. Right? Or even looking at now at our current situation with COVID-19. No one expected it. So when we look at those things, we're like, okay, what is it that we can put in place to alleviate any of these financial risks? Because that's what they are, financial risks. So we look at it and say, okay, we have a life insurance plan, right? What it is that we can utilize. What a lot of persons don't understand is that when it comes to life insurance, it has living benefits. When we look at it, most persons, their idea of life insurance is just something for when they die, right? So, however, there are a lot of living benefits when it comes to life insurance. So, when you have a life insurance policy, once it has or it accumulates cash value, you can take a policy loan from your life insurance. And the interest that you pay on that is less than what you pay to a financial institution, right? For us in this market and all of Claudia's clients, it's like we're in the business of purchasing homes, right? Whenever you're purchasing a home, when you're going to get a mortgage, one of the necessities is that you have life insurance, right? So what normally happens is that when you go to these financial institutions, what they will offer you is a creditor life policy as a part of your mortgage. So what that is, it's a term life, a decreasing term life policy that's securing the financial institution's investment of that capital for the payment of your home. So in the eventuality that something should happen to you, they will be reimbursed. So when we look at the creditor life and we say what it is, so say for instance we have a $10 million mortgage. So what would happen is that the financial institution would take out a life insurance policy for $10 million on your life. So if after 2 years you've paid back $4 million of that, then that life insurance is now valid at $6 million until you finish paying, right? So what that does is that in the eventuality that you may look at it and say, okay, I have this, I don't need anything more. Say we finish paying off this mortgage, right? 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line, 30 years down the line. Now the home is ours. And we look at it and say, okay, it's time for us to look at different avenues, right, of protecting ourselves, or different avenues of investment. And we're saying, okay, we need to do some estate planning, and we need to ensure that when writing up our will, anything should happen, then our house will be passed on to our beneficiaries. When we look at it again, then you're going to also need life insurance again. But then now you're getting this 10 years down the line, 30 years down the line, and different things may happen. One, you may become uninsurable. And that is a thing that a lot of persons don't know about. Not because life insurance or health insurance is there means you can get it. Once you're insurable, it is easy to get. But once you become uninsurable, then it's one of the hardest things. So then now you become older. The older you get, the more expensive insurance becomes. So rather getting it now when you're younger and it costs little to nothing, you wait that 10, that 30 years down the line, and now you're paying 3 times, 4 times the cost of what it is that you will be paying now, right? And that is something that we look at. So whenever we talk about protection, it's not just about saying that, okay, you need to get this for getting safe. Everything is interlinked when it comes to this beautiful house that I have in front of me. So another thing that we look at in terms of protection is that when we look at our pension. A lot of persons don't think about their pension until they reach their mid-years or until they're close to retiring. They're like, okay, I need to start putting something down. I need to start creating this nest egg. And that is something that we need to start doing from when we're younger. We need to put things into place that can help us to create what it is that we need to do. So in terms of our pension, when we reach 65, when we look at what we'll get from the NIS, we've been working this job and we've been getting, say, $2 million a year, or we're getting it and say, okay, reaching our pension. When it's time for you to receive your pension, what you actually receive is 66 2/3 of that last annual salary, right? So if you're looking at it and saying, okay, I'm going in, I'm doing this. If you are living comfortable off that salary, then you can look at it and say, okay, maybe I'll be all right, maybe not. But it's a case that your current salary isn't suffice or sufficient for what it is that you do, or this type of life that is that you want. Imagine living off 66 2/3% of it. So that is where we're coming. Off at that level of protection, that we can say, okay, we are creating everything that it is, and we're protecting what it is that you've created. Same as if you should become ill. Right? I had a client 2 years ago. Well, I still have, she's still my client. So 2 years ago, she came on to our international health plan. So what that is that once you're on the plan, you receive up to $2 million coverage per annum, and you're covered 100% locally and internationally. So when she came onto the plan, she was the one that reached out to me. We had the discussion. She came on. She was good. Let's call her Miss M. So 2 months down the line, Miss M contacted me and she's like, hey, I don't need this. Why am I paying for this and nothing's happening to me? Had discussions with her. She still wasn't satisfied. But eventually, I got her to keep it. Right? Because I reminded her the reason why she wanted it, and she continued. 4 months down the line, I am at home. I get a call. I get a call from this hospital saying this is nurse something. I'm here thinking, I don't know nurse something. So I had the conversation. Then she told me that Miss M is in the hospital. What had happened is that her apartment caught on fire. So she had to jump from the second floor. So in doing that, she broke most of the bones in her arms and her legs. So she was there in the hospital. Right? She had forgot, based on her conversation, she said she had forgotten that she had insurance, because from the last time she customer just paid the money and she just never business no more. So in doing that, she laying there and paying some of the fees, she remembered. So she gave nurse something my number. So nurse contacted me. I contacted who it is that, well, admin, who it is that I need to contact. And then we contacted the hospital. right? So in whatever she paid, she had covered the deductible that she had, and she had paid some excess. So in doing that, then we would reimburse her. So long and short of the story is that when she went to the orthopedic surgeon and then they ran the report, is that she was cursing about having this insurance and not utilizing it. But in the time that something happened, her medical bill to do the surgery needed to correct all the damage to her body was $4.5 million. And I don't know how many persons can say that they have 4.5 million Jamaican dollars lying about. And the thing that made the story even more shocking is that when the orthopedic surgeon came, she was a bit disrespectful. Because what would happen is that the doctor came, he said that he saw her, but from her recollection is that no doctor came to her. Just a doctor was walking past her room and he said, "Hi, Miss M, how are you doing? Are you feeling okay?" And then he left. So when she saw a charge for $20,000, she's like, "What?" So she went off on them. So when she realized that the same doctor that she went off on is the doctor that would be conducting her surgery, she's like, she's not doing it. She wants to go to New York and do her surgery. So I'm like, okay, no problem. We can have that done. So she went to New York to do her surgery. When she got there again, there's a deductible she needs to satisfy. She didn't want to do it. But then the cost of the surgery was told. So what the price that they told her is what worked out to the $4.5 million. So when that happened, is that she's like, come, how can we get this done? And her surgery was done. So now she's walking about as if nothing happened. And that is the level of protection that we offer. Because if it was a case that she needed to find that $4.5 million to pay for her surgery out of pocket, I don't know if it's a case that she would, or even if she would, it would be very detrimental to everything that she worked towards or she's trying to create, right? So when we look at our financial portfolio, we need to understand that the foundation and the basis of creating that wealth starts with protection. When we look at the next step or the next platform in my house, you'll look at the left beam. My left beam is debt management, right? That's one of the key pillars of my house. Without debt management, your house will crumble, right? So imagine living in this house and that left column is not there. Everyone can just look in. Everybody's just looking into your house, right? So one of the ways that we start with debt management is budgeting, right? Looking at our expenses, looking at our savings, and comparing that to our income, what it is that we can afford. Another thing that we need to do is don't get more debt. Try not to create more debt, right? Spend on the necessities. And the next thing is that for all the debt that you have, make a list of them from the very small one to the largest one and start clearing the smaller ones first. Because with the smaller ones, you can get rid of them quickly and then you can start creating a strategy in trying to eliminate the more compound issues in your life. When we look at debt management as well, we look at our car loans, our student loans, our mortgages, our credit cards. A lot of persons will have their credit cards and they have it and they're like, okay, what's the best way to utilize it, right? What we need to remember is that when we utilize our credit cards, we have 25 days in which to make that payment before interest is added. So what you do, once you make that purchase, within that 25 days, clear it with cash. Because in utilizing your credit card, it can open up different benefits to you. So you may get some cash back. You may get some travel points where you can get a free flight. You can get some hotel reservation. You can even get discounts at the supermarket, right? So there are different ways to handling certain things. And even with our mortgage, a lot of persons will take out a mortgage just to buy a house and say, hey, I have my house. You have an investment. Until you have completely paid for that house, it is a debt. So when you get that new house and all your friends come and you guys having a housewarming party and you have all the champagnes and you're there and you're drinking, technically the home is not yours as yet. It still belongs to the financial institution to which you owe the mortgage. So one of the things that we look at in trying to get persons to turn their home from a debt to an investment is that what we normally do is we normally advise them to do prepayments on the mortgage. And I heard Claudia and Tony were speaking a bit towards it earlier in the program. So when it is that you have a mortgage, say you have a 30-year mortgage and you're paying $50,000 a month, right? Instead of paying that $50,000 a month, if you can afford to pay 70, 80, even 55 or 100, make that payment, because what would happen is that that initial payment would go to both your interest and your principal. And then the excess that is paid is then taken from your principal. And in order for you to close your loan, you have to close your principal. So in making those payments over a period of time, you can move your 30-year mortgage from 30 years to potentially 25, 20, 15, even 10 years. It's just the little steps that we take in order to handle that level of debt. So when in speaking about the left side of my house, the right side is equally as important. And for a lot of persons, it's a realization that the pandemic has created for them, right? A lot of persons have found out that in their financial portfolio, there is a lacking need for an emergency fund, right? So when I say emergency fund, we're not talking about the little money that you probably stash in your pants pocket, or you put in your little piggy bank and say, okay, let me drop some coins in there and see how much this can go to. No, that's not an emergency fund, right? For emergency fund, as stated in this diagram, you need at least 6 months income. Reason being is that in the eventuality that you may lose your job, or you may find that you end up in a situation when the income that you normally generate is not enough, or it's not the same, right? You have that money to fall back on. Because whenever someone loses a job and you're trying to get back something, or eagerly trying to get back something, it normally takes maximum 6 months before someone can find their way back into a new job. So if you can have 6 months emergency fund to take care of your mortgage, take care of your utility bills, to take care of food, right, to take care of the kids, then you'll be okay. So that is the thing that a lot of persons did not have before this pandemic. So now in the pandemic, a lot of persons are feeling it. So whenever we're looking at our finances or we're looking at our portfolio, we need to understand that each step is very important. And a lot of persons, they might look at step 1, they might look at step 2 and ignore 3 and 4, or ignore 1 or ignore 2. But whenever we look at it and we say, okay, we're doing this and we're missing a step, we're basically living in an uncompleted house. So the roof can come collapsing at any point in time, right? Another thing that comes to us or comes to mind when we look at Jamaicans and how we are, we're like, okay, when it is that we're saving, or the big thing right now is investments. So everyone is like, most of the times when we're saving, we're like, okay, I'm put the money in the bank, can put it in like a fixed deposit, can get the interest, can do this. Right? Or for the older folks, put some money on the mattress, because I'm not getting nobody my money, make them rob me. Right? And that is what we look at. So we need to understand that there are different avenues in which we can invest. Right? So the car that we looked at, or the house that we looked at that before, that I told you was a debt because we didn't own it. Now we own it. Right? So your house, and when you own a home, as the years go on, it accumulates in value. So your house might cost $10 million now, but due to inflation and due to supply and demand, 5 years down the line, your house may be valued at 15 million, 20 million, right? That is an investment. Same as you may have a car, right? Your car is an investment because it takes you from point A to point B to help you to get the things done that is needed to be done, to help you to create that wealth that you have. And it's the case that is an older car and it becomes a vintage collectible, then the price of that car can soar as well. So we look at these things and we look at the different ways in which we can invest. A lot of persons will go the route of stocks, getting bonds, right? Something that is more secure, something that creates that higher level of interest on their funds. Because not a lot of persons want to have their money sitting down in a place that's only going to give them 1% interest, right? We can look at the different investment funds which can give you 100% interest on your investment. Or it's a case that even some of these financial partners schemes that's going on. So you may go to a credit union and they have a financial partner. And it's same like the partners as we normally term it, that we have in our communities where you, Miss John, Mr. Joy, whosoever come together and put together and say, okay, every week you get a draw. It's the exact same thing that a lot of these financial institutions have, but the difference is that you're protected, right? You don't have to worry about, okay, somebody might not show, so I can't get my money this week, or next week I can't get anything, or the bank will run off with all of the money. So when we look at it and we look at our financial portfolio, what we realize is that each step of the way intersects at some point in time. So when you look at your debt management, one of the things is that there is protection in your debt management, because what a lot of persons don't realize is that when you get a credit card, the financial institution takes out a life insurance policy on you. So there is a there's a temporary life insurance or a creditor life most times that is attached to a credit card. So if you should pass, they would be compensated for whatever it is that, or whatever the outstanding balance is on that card, right? Similar for your student loans, similar for your car loans, right? And we had already touched on the part of your mortgage. So back to even turning to your house as an investment, is like one of the things is that, and we spoke about this earlier, is that when you get buying a home, you need life insurance. One of the things that I do for a lot of persons is that whenever they need a home and they need that aspect of it, one of the things in order for your life insurance, if you already have one, to be done is for it to be allocated or assigned to that mortgage, right? So for me, with what I do US dollars, US dollar life insurance. So any life insurance I give you, one, it can be non-medical. So my non-medical limit is 300,000 US dollars. Next thing, it's not something that you have to be physically in front of me for us to get done, right? I will just need for you to fill out the application, answer the medical questions, and whatever documentation is needed, you can send to me, right? Because I think it was November that there was this gentleman in Florida that was buying a house in St. Anne, and he was trying to get a mortgage from a financial institution locally. But one of the criteria is that he needed life insurance, right? And because of the situation that was happening, I don't remember what exactly the situation was, but there was a time crunch on his mortgage. So a friend of mine reached out to me and let me know that, hey, this gentleman needs this, can we help him? And I'm like, sure, right? So we stayed in Florida. I contacted him. We had the discussion. I got him the life insurance that he needed. And then I eliminated another 2 steps, because normally the financial institution is who would assign your life insurance to your plan. But I had it assigned while it was being processed. So he received the life insurance, he got it assigned, and it was sent to the financial institution and his mortgage got approved. And the time frame in which I'm able to do this, you may not be able to receive it at other financial investment institutions, right? So when I give someone a life insurance, it takes me anywhere from a minimum of 5 days to a maximum of 3 weeks, depending on a few things. So normally persons will say, okay, when they get applying for a life insurance, it normally will take them 1, 2 months, 3 months before coming into effect. I will give it up within 5 days to 3 weeks. So it's really looking at what it is that we are after. What are those short-term goals? What are those long-term goals? How it is that we can incorporate the different aspects of our financial portfolio to it and creating that holistic approach. Because you can't have a bed with 3 feet. It's technically not a bed, right? So at Caribbean Assurance Brokers, what we are a full-service insurance brokerage house. So from it moves or it stays still, we insure it. So we have our different divisions. We have our general insurance, where you can get your car insurance, your home insurance, your professional liability for those persons interested in that, right? As well as medical malpractice, right? For all the doctors that are viewed, right? Because I remember us having a discussion with a doctor the other day, and you requested that from me. And I said, yeah, that we can get that done, right? We also have our employee benefits division, where if you have a company and you need to offer some level of protection to your employees, we offer group life, group health, as well as even with generally, we offer all risk insurance for all of those engineers that are doing construction, right? And then it comes back to me and my international division. So I'm able to offer US dollar life insurance where you don't need to do a medical, right? So as I said before, I can give you 300,000 US dollars without you having to do a medical, and I can give you a lot more. You don't need to be here. We just need to have the conversation. And when we have a conversation, it's not just about selling you something. It's about looking at the financial hazards that you are facing and how best we can create a plan, create a formula to alleviate that, and to help you to create whatever short-term or long-term goals that you have planned. Because at the end of the day, the only thing that I offer, the main thing that I offer is security. And without security, what it is that we will have, right? Apart from that is, as I said, I offer international insurance, international health insurance, where I can offer up to $2 million US coverage, and you'll be covered 100% locally and internationally. So it doesn't matter where in the world you are covered. We also do high limit disabilities for for everyone that's here. So depending on whatever field you're on, I can offer you up to 85% of your monthly income, I should say, in payment. So if it's a case that you're working and you become temporarily or permanently disabled, sick or disabled for a period of up to 90 days, then we would pay you up to 85% of your monthly salary until you get on your feet again and you're able to work. So that again is us looking at replacement of family income. In the event that something should happen to you and you can't work, bills still have to be paid. Not because you're sick and at home or sick or in the hospital or you can't walk or something along the line, meaning that the bills are going to stop. So that is one of the things that we look at. And for all those persons that have a family and we're looking at our kids and we say, hey, we need our kids to get best education that there is. And we decide to say, okay, we're going to send them to a high school or a college overseas, then I do student insurance as well, because that is a criteria for a lot of overseas institutions. So I've been doing a lot of those. And for those that just want to go have a vacation, go on a trip, I do travel insurance, whether it be even a business trip. I can give you travel insurance as well. And you can travel you against, it's a travel medical. So if you become ill while you're on the trip, you'll be covered. If you lose your luggage or any cancellation, you'll be covered. Right? So there's a lot of things that we can do, and with financial management, right, it makes our lives easier and it makes our path to creating and maintaining our wealth that much easier as well. So when I speak to a person about insurance, I normally tell them that insurance does two things. It creates wealth and it preserves it. What it does is dependent on what your needs are. Right? So this is all I really had to share. So anyone have any questions, feel free to contact me. I'm always available and we can have a discussion.
All right, KEMAR, thank you so much for that presentation.
You're welcome.
All right, so KEMAR will stand by now to take your questions. Basically, in summary, he has 4 pillars: your investing, emergency fund, debt management, and protection. All of those are very, very important. There was a question earlier about what type of insurance does he offer. We started saying it. You can offer your US life insurance for 300,000, health insurance up to 2 million US coverage in full coverage, disability insurance if you're disabled for any period while working, 85% of your monthly, and travel insurance. What about, well, I was going to ask him about critical health insurance.
So critical illness as well. It was there under the portfolio. So it's similar to health insurance in the case that if in the event that you should become diagnosed with a critical illness, then you will receive a large lump sum. What that lump sum is for, it can be based on your portfolio. If it's a case that you already have, say, an international health insurance, then that international health insurance covers all of those critical illnesses. Right? So therefore, that money that will be paid out by the critical illness plan to aid in your medical bills would then become money that you can utilize any way in which you see fit. But on the other hand, for persons who don't have an international health insurance, that critical illness will help to alleviate the burden of those financial bills. Because if it's a case that they are diagnosed with cancer, or you have a kidney disease, and you need to dialysis, or you need to do chemotherapy, it isn't cheap. And not everyone have the resources to take care of that, right? So that's really where critical illness plan comes in.
Okay, so tell me something now. Like me at my age, 2 million US coverage, that's the maximum for the health, right?
Yes.
All right, what's the ballpark figure for something like that? You pay monthly US dollars, correct?
Well, normally you pay annually or semi-annually, but what we do also is that we actually offer financing through April Limited, right, in which you can finance a plan. And then what would happen is that they would pay the premium for you upfront, and after paying for that premium, they're depending on the amount of months that you're given to pay back, maximum 10 months, there will be a small interest on that fee, and then you pay back over that 10-month period. So for the most, so the most expensive plan for you, someone at age 55, for $2 million US dollars would be $5,146 a year.
5,100 per year.
And 46 US dollars per year.
Okay. Does that,
but then
you're able to use that insurance plan locally? Like
you
as
can.
well? Regular to go to doctor to do all these things?
Right. You can. However, with international insurance, a lot of the doctors, because the cards that you receive aren't a swipe card per se, a lot of the local doctors, minus the major facilities, so the hospitals and some of the major and most of the major diagnosis facilities, right? They will look at you and say, okay, we don't know this, right? So if it's a case that you have a regular doctor that you go to, what we can do is that we can form a relationship with him in which we can have a guarantee of payment done. So it's a case that when you go and visit, he would offer you the service and then we pay him via a direct pay method. But in other circumstances, it's a case that you should go there and they tell you, okay, we don't accept this, and you end up paying out of pocket, we will reimburse you.
Okay. So, but basically, this 2 million US coverage is really for major medical.
It's really a major medical. So what I normally tell a person is that a lot of persons have group insurance from work, or some persons will have some local health insurance. For the little things, you can utilize that for the little things. But then if something should truly happen to you, the benefits that you get from your local insurance or your group insurance can't really help you.
What about persons that work in a company?
For persons working in a company, it's a similar scheme. So if it's a case that the company will offer you a group insurance, right? But you can also have international insurance to complement it.
No, what I'm asking, persons not working in a company, like self-employed persons.
Yeah, self-employed persons can receive the plan. Anyone can receive the plan.
No, I'm talking about the group plan. Is there any group that's self-employed can go on?
Yes. The last time I checked this out for someone, there's a plan. It's a very unique plan. I would have to check again for the details. But I remember I had a potential client that was interested in something like that I was looking into. I didn't get the full details. So what I can do, I can check on that for you and get back to you about it.
Is that a health plan or is that a group life plan?
It was a mixture of both.
Of both. All right, good.
It was a mixture of both. So I will check on that and let you know.
All right, no problem.
Here's a question from Jennifer Dyer. I'm from London, and a lot of travel insurance is not covering COVID-19. Does your international travel insurance cover for this?
That is true. That is true. But two things I will say is that the international health insurance that I offer covers COVID, because even myself, I've had a few clients that have been diagnosed with COVID that luckily they had the plan and they received the help that they need, or the medical assistance that was needed. But also for those needing travel insurance as well, separate from international health insurance, the travel insurance that I offer covers COVID as well.
Okay, good. You have any more questions? Everybody, you can put your questions in the chat. KEMAR is here. What kind of all right, so you talk about protection in terms of health, we covered that. In terms of health, you're talking about the 2 million US, you're talking about the disability, and you're talking about the travel, or if you're critically ill, right?
Yeah.
Those are those coupon policies, those ones. Tell me about the ones that, if you're diagnosed with cancer, heart disease, those policies. Do you need any medicals to get those?
All right. So for that plan, I am aware of a plan that offers that coverage, and no, you don't need a medical.
And the people overseas can get this plan as well?
Well, it's a local plan. Currently, I'm actually looking for something that I can offer to the persons overseas. So that's in discussion. So as soon as that is, I have something concrete on that, then I can relay that information. But for now, the information that I have is for local persons. But for persons, what I will say is that for persons who have the international health insurance that I offer, once you're on this plan and you're diagnosed with any of those illnesses, you are covered.
Oh, you're covered. Okay, good.
Yeah, you're covered. So when it comes to organ transplants, cancer, surgery, kidney disease, you're covered 100%. And even for persons who are starting a family and you're having kids, there's a maternity benefit. So once you've been on the plan for a period of 10 months, your postnatal, prenatal, and pregnancy is covered. So, and if you want to have that child in the Jamaica, or if you want to have that child in another international country, you're covered. Because even I myself have a client that she's expecting in June. And last month I had to finalize the details for her delivery in a hospital in Canada because she wants to have her child in Canada.
Okay, that's very good. Someone's asking, how many life insurance can a person have?
You can have as many as you can afford. It's really about affordability and why it is that you have them.
Yeah,
right? If it's a case that you're just having life insurance or having life insurance safe and not knowing how to properly utilize it, then there's an issue. But if it's a case that in terms of coverage and the utilization of that coverage, it's helping you to build your wealth and offer the level of protection that is needed by you, then you can have as many as you need.
Which one is cheaper in terms of premium? Is it the life insurance or the term life?
All right. So in terms of life insurance, term life is still life insurance, right? But term life is cheaper. The reason being is that term insurance is over a specific period of time, right? While a whole life insurance or a universal life insurance is for the entirety of your life. So if you're taking out a term insurance, you'll have a 10-year, 20-year, or 30-year term, sometimes even a 15-year term, right? So during the period of that term, if something should happen to you, then your beneficiaries would still receive the benefit or the payout, right? And you can still utilize that term insurance as collateral for different financial institutions once you utilize your life insurance as collateral. Same as if you're getting a mortgage, you can use a term insurance for your mortgage, right? But before the end of the term, you also have the option of converting that term life insurance to a whole life policy, right? But at the end of the term, if it's a case that you don't convert, one of two things can happen, right? The term will end, so you no longer have coverage, and then you can go and try and search for some coverage, or you can renew that term policy, but the premium that you're going to pay is going to be way more expensive. So I normally tell persons with term policies, right before the end of a term, just convert it to a whole life policy, right? So when I speak of term policies, I normally tell persons who are trying to get, or persons who need a certain amount of life insurance, but due to financial restrictions, they're unable to receive that much coverage. Instead of going whole life, go term, because it's cheaper. So then it becomes more affordable. And then as your finances become better and more stable, then you convert it to a whole life.
To a whole life.
Yeah. And another thing also is that in terms of term insurance that I offer is something known as a return of premium on the US dollar insurance as well. So what it is that when I look at persons in the mid years of their lives, or anyone at all, it's just depending on your situation and what you need. Because when we spoke of the wealth curve, we're saying that as we become older, our need for protection and coverage becomes less. So when I look at persons like these that they don't really have much responsibility going forward, but they need some coverage, the only real thing that they need something to add to is their pension going forward to help to grow that and grow it a bit more. So what I offer to them is a term insurance with a return of premium. So what that does is you're covered for X amount of years, but then at the end of the year, you receive back 75% of the premiums paid in US dollars. So you can actually take that and you can reinvest it into whatever avenue that you need to, or you can use it and go on a vacation. Whatever is good for you. But during the term period, if something should happen to you, your beneficiaries still get the benefits.
So what is a living benefit? Which one of
them? So
I know the health. So, health is living.
Mm-hmm. Health is a living benefit. When you're getting your mortgage loan is a living benefit. Mm-hmm. The cash value that your life insurance policy have is a living benefit. You taking out a policy loan against your life insurance is a living benefit, right? Any A living benefit is any way in which you can utilize your insurance while you're still alive.
Someone was asking that question as well. So practically, how much they wanted to really know if they could use their life insurance to get a loan to buy a house. But how much practically can they borrow from a life insurance?
It's really dependent on the cash value on the policy and the type of policy and the arrangement that you have or what are the arrangement that the financial institution will have. Whatever their policy is, that will determine what it is that can be done with that. But a lot of times it really has to do with the level of accumulation that you have on that policy.
Okay. So it's only the cash value you can borrow against.
At the moment in Jamaica, I would say yes. In other jurisdictions, other financial institutions will have other policies. But as again I said, it's really based on the policy of the institution. So when you go, you speak to them, you ask them, they will let you know, and then you can utilize it.
All right, I see a question here. If you outlive your term life, do you get the full amount you were covered for at the time of its expiration?
I think I just answered that. No.
If the insurance expires,
It's expired.
There's nothing to get back.
Mm-hmm. That's why you convert it to a whole life before.
Whole life. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Convert it. We're gonna post.
Yeah.
So we're posting a link for KEMAR. You complete it. KEMAR will get it in his email, and he will respond. And KEMAR, I'm sure you have other products that you haven't mentioned here.
Yeah, there's a lot, and as I said, once it moves or it stays still, I can insure it.
Once it moves or it stays still.
Yeah, once it moves or it stays still, I can insure it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I see people talking about the US dollar. Everybody remember the US dollar is the international currency. I bond comes to that. I don't know if that's gonna change in the near future down the road. But remember, the US dollar is an international currency used throughout the world. So it's not just that Jamaicans don't want the Canadian or the British pound or whatever. It's
so
just it's a benchmark.
Sorry.
Right?
I will even add something to that, is that even though the quotations is in US dollars, you can still pay and it will just be the equivalent. So if it's a case that you're in Canada per se and you have a plan, you're making a payment and you're paying in Canadian dollars, what would happen is that you just pay the Canadian equivalent of whatever the US premium is. So It's not limited to actual US dollars. It's just whatever the equivalent is.
The equivalent, right? So when you send funds, you send it same way and then the more converted to the US.
Yeah.
Yeah, you pay the equivalent. Just like we are in Jamaica. So if I was paying this time 1,100 US, I would have to convert my Jamaican money to the equivalent and convert it.
Or you just made the payment and then the bank would just use their rates and then it will just be automatic. So it's not something that you have to go out of it and say, okay, let me really think about how I'm going to do this.
All right. So
here's a question. As per Sue's, can you receive life if you end certain type of phone call? No, you read that one already.
What was that?
Do you have hurricane insurance coverage for a paid off house?
For that one, I will check.
Okay.
For that one, I will check.
That should be
let me make a note.
That's what kind of insurance is that?
It's the same.
Peril.
It will fall under peril insurance. So it is there, but I don't know if it's a case. The reason why I said I would check, I don't know if it's a case that they want it in a local setting or there's something that they need in an international setting. So on a local setting, yes, we have peril insurance. On an international setting, I will check. But a lot of times, a lot of these insurance are covered both in Jamaican and in US dollars.
Okay.
Yeah.
This person probably wants the insurance here
for a host.
Yeah, because it speaks specifically about hurricane.
The thing is, for me, I not only sell insurance to persons in Jamaica, but I sell insurance to persons throughout the Caribbean. So when you say hurricane, it can be in Trinidad. It could be in Trinidad.
Can I insure property?
Can you what?
Part insure.
You may insure just the front bedroom?
Yeah. So like I have a property that NHT finished with. Because NHT usually there's insurance, but there's no insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Interesting.
can I, instead of insuring this entire property for the value, can I only insure it for part value? I was saying to Tonian, I said, Tonian, if there's a hurricane, we'll only lose the windows. It's a slab roof.
Okay.
We're not going to lose the roof.
Mm-hmm.
We'll only lose the windows, and we may have some flooding damage, some water damage.
Okay.
So I'm thinking we don't need to carry the entire insurance.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
for parts.
So when it comes to peril insurance, that's not my forte, but there's someone I can speak to. So I will get that information and get it to you. So we can have that conversation on Tuesday.
All right. So everybody, KEMAR's link is in the chat. So we'll take both your questions now. We'll still take your insurance questions, and we'll take your real estate questions. So real estate, money, and finance. You can still post your
Here's
questions.
a question. Ruby Morris is asking, can one buy health insurance on the open market?
You can.
What's the open market?
For insurance. I know the open market is for real estate. But
what is considered the open market for health insurance? You can buy health insurance from any insurance company in Jamaica.
Yeah. So in terms of what my understanding of the open market is that they're just there and you have some persons come to you and speak to you. So when it comes to buying insurance, one of the key things is the benefits, right? One, you need to understand that you need to know if the person is legit, because you'll have different persons coming in, and this is Jamaica, right? So we have to be wary of certain things. But it's really, when we're buying health insurance, we need to look at the benefits, right? And how those benefits affect us. Because if somebody might come to you and say, okay, I'm selling you this amount of health insurance, and I'm giving you like a $7 million or a $5 million in coverage. But when you go into the benefits, you realize that there's a lot of limitations to certain things. So they're saying that, okay, you have a surgery to do, you only can get probably 100,000 US or 50,000 US dollars to do that surgery. If you need to do an organ transplant, you only can utilize 1.5 million US dollars for the lifetime of the plan. And then it's a case where if I'm getting $7 million or $5 million coverage a year, why am I only getting 1.5 million for the lifetime of the plan for something as serious as an organ transplant? And the most expensive organ transplant at this moment is a heart transplant. And 2 years ago, a heart transplant, the most expensive one, was 800,000 US dollars. Now it's 1.5 million. So that heart transplant alone clears that allowance for organ transplant. And then if you have a heart issue, it's going to relate to different organs. So you may have to do more than one organ transplant. So after doing that one procedure, you have nothing left for the other procedures. So you have to look at really how the benefits are lined up, how it is that it's specific to your need, and how it is that it can alleviate that need.
Here's someone asking for some clarity. She says, I think they mean outside of a company group health insurance scheme.
Oh, yeah, you can. You can.
So I can have like, health insurance in my company and then one privately?
You can. Yes. So you complement it. Because one of the things though, when you have a group insurance, right, it's not something that you may have for the rest of your life, because anything can happen. You can be laid off by the company, you can quit your job, the company can go under. In those scenarios, you'll be left without coverage. And if it's a case that you're let go by the coverage, you have 30 days, right? For local insurance, I know you have 30 days in which you can convert that policy to your own. But the premium that you're going to pay for that policy is nothing compared to what the company was going to pay. So it might end up being way more expensive for you to take it on for yourself. But you can still go and get something else. So even if you have your local group insurance, I still advise persons to go ahead, get something for yourself, right, that you can utilize, because you really can't utilize the group insurance to do the things that you need to do. It's just there. If something should happen to you on the job or on the way to the job, then you have coverage. Because if a company has 1,000 employees and then you have 5 employees passing away, then if the company does nothing, it's going to leave a bad reputation. So the company say, hey, if I'm going to go, amount, and I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to aid for in the burial of 5 persons. I'm going to give each family $100,000. Whereas I can take out an insurance policy and I can pay $100,000 a year for the 1,000 employees and give them $1 million coverage that can help them something happen. That's more beneficial to me. That makes way more sense. And that's really what a group insurance is. So a person will look at it and say, hey, okay, I have insurance already. I don't need to talk to you because my company gave me insurance. Yeah, that is temporary coverage. You need to have something in the eventuality that something happens.
That's so true because I must say, I must commend Lasco Financial. That's what they're called? Lasco Group? That's that we know that give us the milk powders, right? Creamy malt one is the one I like.
As a kid, I ate all of them. I had all of them.
All of them, right? So, because it reminds me when I was younger, my mother used to give me this malted milk drink called Horlicks. That's what it reminds me of. So, about maybe 3 years ago, I had a friend working there, Nicolene. Hi, Nicolene. Big up to Nicolene. And Nicolene called me up and said, hey, you know, my company started this group health and they want some persons too. And I said, what? And I gave her about 10 names. So my family and about 10 other families. And they put us on this group insurance and they actually put the premiums for us for 1 year.
Yeah.
And I tell you guys, that group health insurance. So me have a card, Rachel have a card, Tony have a card. And we're paying like, is it 6,000?
6,000 per person.
6,000 per person per month, Jamaican dollars. And that health insurance has been a savior. I mean, she did her surgery. They paid what, 75% of the surgery?
Yeah.
Which was, the surgery was like $1 million odd. So they paid 75%. And well, we haven't had any other major illnesses, but you know, like I go to the doctor for my arthritis and for other things. And
Rachel had a baby.
Oh, and Rachel had her baby. And they paid for she went to the hospital, had a C-section, and they paid for it. The health insurance was a lifesaver. So, I mean, I want to thank so much Lasco and for Nicolene for introducing it and say, hey, Claudia, come on this, get some people for me, and I got the people. So some of my friends also still on it and we pay for it every month because we're self-employed. So we are not a big enough company that could have a group in health insurance like that. But Lasco have that and we went on it and it's excellent. So those of you who are self-employed and you're not on any kind of a health insurance, you need to talk to KEMAR about getting on that plan that he has for, you have a plan for people who are not a part of a company, right?
Yeah, I can look into that.
Yeah, that you should.
As I said before, I was looking into it, but I didn't get all the information. So on Tuesday, I can get that and get that back to you.
Yeah, look into it. So everybody, those of you interested in that, complete the form. Tell KEMAR that's what you're interested in, so that you can get. I mean, we're only paying 6,000 per person, and I tell you, it's a lifesaver. So it was a lifesaver. So
I couldn't believe it covered so much. My surgery.
Yeah.
My surgery, the doctor's fee, the hospital fee.
And we're actually paying we're paying the most expensive premium. So there's actually a cheaper premium that we could have paid. You know, I said to Tony, just pay the more expensive one because we don't know when we're going to need this. So everybody, you definitely need health insurance. One of them that you need. Life insurance too is something. So when Rachel had her baby, right away we knew we needed the life insurance coverage just in case something happened. We have the funds that we can actually coordinate. Because when I was younger and my children were just born, I made sure that I carried life insurance on myself. I don't carry life insurance now because as far as I'm concerned, them don't need to get no money from me. Them go school already and can't go manage for themselves now, right? But health insurance is very important. So is the travel insurance, and the travel insurance, those of you who travel insurance is so important as well, right? That you can use. And remember the perils for your house, for your property is also another one. As the person's house is burned down to the ground and they can't replace it, there is no life insurance.
Someone in the group was asking if the peril insurance covers earthquake.
Yeah, man. Peril usually cover earthquake, flooding, hurricane, fire. You can add things for theft too if you want, but peril covers most things. Eh? So insurance is very important. As KEMAR says, investment, emergency fund, debt management, and protection, right? Protection is important. One of the things that I teach in the whole scenario of wealth is that you need to acquire your assets. When you acquire the assets, you need to maintain the assets, and maintain, you also need to protect the assets. So one form of protection is not only fencing up the property and make sure so no thief no jump the fence and no whatever no come over, but protection is also in the form of insurance.
Yeah.
That you're going to have on that property, right? That's how you're going to maintain the wealth. You're going to acquire. Acquire is important, everybody. You're going to maintain. Some of you have properties, the roof a leak, this a happen, you know, pay no attention. Your granny come America, come stay with you, and leave the house out here for deteriorate, and you don't protect it, you don't maintain and you don't protect it, right? You have to do that with your assets. I remember part of your assets too is your family, your children that you have. They're part of your assets. So you have to make
And yourself.
and yourself. Because
And yourself.
you are the main asset too.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you know, you are the money making machine. So if it's the case that you had a machine that was printing out $10,000 a day, every day, and something happened to it, God rightly, you're going to find a way to fix that machine. Right? So if you're the one going out, right, creating all this, building all this, you have to take care of yourself. Because same like how you have to bring your cars once or twice a year for servicing. Take care of yourself. Because you're taking care of your car, taking care of your house, take care of yourself.
Right. Dennis was asking if you pay off your NHG loan, can you continue to get the peril insurance? Now that I can check, because I think I'm in that boat with you right there, Dennis.
You can still get the peril insurance. If it's a case, you still can get the peril insurance.
They actually have the cheapest group peril insurance. NHD, yeah. Okay. So that part of it we need to keep. But everybody, we're up onto the time of 5 o'clock. I want to thank you. Can you insure a house that's still being built? Fill out the form for KEMAR so that he can answer.
Fill out the form and I get all the answers.
Yeah, fill out the form to him and ask the questions in the form, right?
Yeah.
Can you insure a house that is still being built? You're supposed to can carry some peril and stuff on it.
Yeah. And for everyone who's in the market for a home and they're going for a mortgage loan and you don't have any life insurance, contact me.
Right. Okay, I need to liaise with you because we sell the properties, we need to get them on to you so that they can check with you for the insurance.
Yeah. We can have that done.
All right, so Tony is gonna post KEMAR's details again now. We're gonna post it again. What's the phone number? KEMAR, tell me the phone number. We're posting the phone.
All right, so my phone number is 876-386-7388.
7388.
Yeah, 386-7388. Also 445-2537.
All right, so Tony is posting it in the group, and we're also posting the form again.
Okay.
The person's overseas KEMAR, that's a quick one. Can they get those critical illness plans that don't require medical?
They can.
The person's overseas.
Yeah.
What's a premium for somebody my age? Tell me the maximum on the premium.
I'll have to check that for you. I can't give it off the bat. Yeah, don't want to give you wrong information. Next time I tell us say cheaper than what it actually is or more expensive than what it is. No, we don't work like that. We'll let you know what it is. Yes, no assumptions.
All right, everyone. So thank you so much for taking time out of your holidays to be with us on this holy good holy
This Sunday.
Holy Sunday.
holy Sunday. KEMAR
This
lost
Sunday.
because I've been locked down from Thursday. I've lost track of the day.
We understand. We understand.
But everybody, again, thank you so much. Remember, you can use a link. Talk to KEMAR. We posted the Homestead link as well. You still want to get into the Homestead group, and we also posted the mortgage reps in. Just post them quickly again. So next week, we're hoping to have a mortgage officer for you so that we can find out why you get turned down for your loan, Tony, or what you need to do to get this loan. For some persons, I know the mortgage process can be very daunting, but
And it's because it feels like they're digging down your life.
yeah, you have to give them all the granny teeth to get this mortgage, but it's just one of the things that we go through in life, right? All right, so Tony, I've posted the mortgage information. You have posted KEMAR's information.
Mm-hmm.
You have posted the homestead information. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week. Bye.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks, KEMAR.
You're welcome. And thanks again.
Yes, no problem. Bye.